happened? Who got hurt?
Charlie, please.
Which one?
Lombard.
How?
His own gun. He tripped getting in the plane.
Stupid fool, the getaway was timed.
Moving fast, Charlie. It was an accident.
An accident. I'll take that back. Now, we don't want any more accidents. What was he carrying a gun for? All he had to do was play sick and lie on a stretcher.
He had an idea.
I had a timetable.
All right, hello, welcome back, everybody. We're going to talk a little bit of noir, a little bit of hard-boiled today. Hard-boiled books here at the Book Graveyard, your favorite vintage genre fiction channel, maybe. So what are we talking today? We're talking The Squeeze by Gil Brewer. There we go. This book was sent to me from Stark House Press. This is an advanced reading copy, but I believe it's out now. It takes me a little while to get the thing sometimes. So it contains two stories, The Squeeze. The second story is And the Girl Screamed. Both got the beautiful cover there, which is, I believe, the same artwork that they used on the original Squeeze publication. I'll pop that up there. I think it was originally an ace double. All right, so who is this Gil Brewer anyway? He was born in 1922. He's the son of an aviator, pulp fiction writer, also named Gil Brewer. He was a World War II veteran who left the chilly, freezing cold weather of New York, upstate New York, moved down to St. Petersburg, Florida. Unfortunately for Gil, he had a drinking problem, added to some health problems, and he died in 1983. So The Squeeze was originally published in 1955. Like I said, it was part of an ace double. If you flipped it over, it was Love Me to Death by Frank Diamond. The cover art that was used on The Squeeze that they reused for this reprint was done by Harry Barton.
The mastermind.
Shut up, Linda.
You'd every minute ticked off for each of us. You'd followed your own timetable. You'd have been there.
I'm telling you to shut up.
Well, why didn't you leave? Why didn't you carry out your end?
I couldn't, you little fool. I couldn't.
You mean you wouldn't? You thought Paul and I double-crossed you, didn't you? Didn't you?
Our protagonist is Joe Mall. He's an everyday Joe. He's got a beautiful woman. He's got a great job. He's got a nice house. He's got a promising life ahead of him until one night he walks into an illegal gambling house owned by syndicate man Victor Jarnigan. In a 4-night gambling binge, Joe loses $12,000, which is a lot of money in 1955. It's kind of a lot of money now. I don't have $12,000. He loses his beautiful woman. He loses his house. He loses his job. He's got to sell his house. He buys or rents Ramshackle Shack down on the beaches of Tampa, Florida. One evening, he's visited by one of Jarnigan's hoods, Fritz, who says that his presence is much required at the house of Jarnigan. He'd like to have a word with him. Obviously, Mall has no choice. Joe Mall has no choice. He owes the man tons of money. He has to go see what this dude wants with him. These are hoods we're talking about. These are syndicate men. His life is on the line. So he goes to Victor Jarnigan's house, where Victor Jarnigan proceeds to tell him a tale of a professional thief through his lifetime of cat burglaring, acquires the mass of $200,000, which is insane in 1955. Millions of dollars. Unfortunately, for the Ocean's 11 man, he shoots a guard in the middle of a robbery, gets caught, sentenced to prison, put to death, but his treasure is still out there. Jarnigan learns of who owns the treasure. I guess, yeah, it's treasure, right? It's a big wad of cash. And the person that is now in possession of the money is the thief's straight friend, non-criminal friend, who lives in a fortress with his wife and her sister. The man lives as a shut-in. He barely leaves the home, and he takes some of the money and invests in all this high-tech security so the hoods cannot get to him. So what they need is for Joe to get himself into the house. And how does he do this? How is he supposed to do this? He's supposed to make friends with the wife's sister. But good thing for Joe Mall, she also happens to be that smoking hot redhead that is featured on the cover. Joe stops by a bar that she frequents, makes a little conversation, gets a little bit of headway, but she's apprehensive. A couple days later, runs into her again. He gets that lifeline that all the single guys hope for every time they walk out the door. Gets her number, gets her digits, gives her a call later on. She says, hell yeah, I want to go out. How about this? You meet me down at the ocean at 6 a.m. in the morning for a swim. Personally, deal breaker for me. I'd be like, I'm not getting up at 6 a.m. to go swimming in the goddamn ocean. But Joe's in. Like I said, he doesn't have a choice. Same time, yeah. She's quite the babe. So it's worth it. She's going to be down there in her 1950s huge bikini. Post-swimming, she invites him to come back to the house. Let's have some bacon and eggs, Joe Mall. They go back to the house. There we get to finally meet this mysterious couple, the owner of the treasure. The woman is blasted. She's wasted. She's a train wreck. She's a train wreck of a human being. And then we meet the husband, who is definitely not thrilled that there's a strange man in his house. So a week goes by, and they're just falling in love. They're sailing on the seas of love. And she brings up the possibility of Joe helping her to get this money that her brother-in-law has. He hasn't even said who he is yet, what he's after. She brings it up. So Joe's thinking, well, shit, I got this in the bag, man. I got this in the bag. She's willing to help me. I don't even got to do this alone. Unfortunately, Joe isn't following the rules. He's supposed to have already gotten a hold of this money, or at least known the whereabouts. Fritz shows up, Fritz the Hood, and his buddies. They beat the ever-loving tar out of his face. It's a black and blue plum, old bruised apple. Caroline comes over that night. She's like, holy crap, dude, what happened to you? Oh my God, Joe, what happened? So he comes clean, tells her all about Jarnigan, all about his gambling issues, his debts. Tells her that it was a setup, that he met her, was on purpose. But you know what, baby, I love you now. Things have changed after I've gotten to know you. And you know what? She's not even mad. And she says, well, hey, you know what? I got a plan. And there we go. There is the plot of the book. Who can Joe trust? Is she trustworthy? I don't know about it, man. I just don't know. Is she a femme fatale, leading him to further doom, further demise? The guy already lives in a shack, $12,000 in the hole, lost everything. How much lower can he get? Everyone in this story is untrustworthy, including Joe. Caroline, obviously Jarnigan's a bad man. Did he hire Caroline to trick Joe? Are they setting Joe up for something? Or is Caroline true? Is Caroline really in love with Joe, and they're going to get the money and they're going to go have a happy life? Not in Florida. No, you really just don't know. You really don't know. It could go anyway. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of EC Comics. The old EC Comics from the 40s, when they had the crime series. It would be a great story in that. I can just picture it all gritty, crimey, people sweating, people being nervous, guilty, angry, greedy. The writing style and storytelling here is incredibly smooth. It's all muscle, no fat. It's punchy, clear, concise. At times it can be humorous. There's humor in this book, and it's not cheeky, cute humor. It kind of reminded me of that episode of The Sopranos where Chris and Paulie are lost out in the wood after Paulie attacks that Serbian soldier, and it's just that kind of humor in it. It's very dark. It involves murder, but it's still fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun murder. We're gonna give this one 5 smoking hot redheads. 5 smoking hot redheads up. Good stuff. You can get it right now. StarkhousePress.com. Link in the description. I will be reading the other story, hopefully sometime in 2026. Not to mention the Robert Silverberg Sleaze books that they just sent me, which I'm looking forward to too. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching. I'm out of here.